Okay, good afternoon, gentlemen. I hope everyone is well. It is Friday, the 25th of August. We've got a week left before we're in September. So the year is just flying, I have to say. So we've started off with a bit of looks like a couple of legs up with a bit of a break, depending on how you draw this. I mean, I've tried to draw it in a few different ways, maybe a spike and channel, I don't know, but I think the safer option is to assume we've had a break. So it does look like a leg and a leg. So if we can push up and get a higher low, I may be interested in going along there. Now, it's currently 20 past 2 in the afternoon in the UK. In about 40 minutes, we have some high impact news. So we need to be aware of that. So I've got that in front of me just to keep me aware, because sometimes my focus is that much on these setups, it can slip my mind. So morning, Groll Daddy, how you doing, bud? Hey, Rodian, how you doing? Evening for you, isn't it? Late evening, I'm assuming. Yeah. So leg and a leg, I'm thinking. So we started off, I put my channel from here, which touched there and touched there. So that confirms we're a channel, but I did mess around putting it from there, seeing if we got a spike and channel. But I think the safer option is to go from here, here and here and assume this is a break. But it does look like a leg and a leg, and we are struggling a bit. So I was hoping we would come down a little bit lower and touch that. I always like to, if I'm looking for a long or a higher low, I always like it when we've touched that measured leg, because then when we do get a push up, you would expect other traders to get into that. So we may actually get down there. We're only a couple of ticks away, I think. So that would be nice. So whether we come down, I don't know. So I'll have to just keep an eye on this at the moment. So I am a little bit early, 20 past. I don't usually start for about another 5 or 6 minutes. So let's just keep an eye on this and see how we get on. So ideally another couple of ticks. I'd like to hit that. If we hit that and then push above the EMA and give us a higher low, then I'll be interested in going along there. Hey, what? How you doing, my friend? So we are slowing down here. As you know, I have got the 1,000-tick chart above my head, and it's showing just as clear a picture, but I'd like to go down just a fraction. It doesn't always hit that measured move, but most of the time it does. And then if we do push up, then once we hit that measured move, if you're going to go long there, you know, we wait for a signal bar, but a lot of traders will go long there. So I always like to hit that because it just picks up extra traders. But it's close enough. I think we're only really a tick away there. So Powell speaking today, big moves coming. You think so? Well, I've got that on here, so yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on that. So that'll be interesting. We had a really strong down day. If you look at that, I mean, look at that. It's that's about as down as it comes, really, isn't it? Let's have a look. So where do we go? We dropped 107 points. Unfortunately, not a huge amount of setups, but I had one. That's the one I had. That leg down, 2 legs back, nice big bearish bar, and wham. I think Mac did mark that, although he had his Mac had his chart slightly different than mine. Mac had it there with a break, but if you also look on Mac's chart, he had it about there. He took the corner off there. Now normally you go from there, but he took the corner off, so I don't quite understand why he had that as a break. Because if you just adjust that a bit to Let's have a look. Is it to there? To there. Make sure we get it to touch. See, it touches there, it touches there, and it touches there. And I actually think that finishes better. It works better on this side. But I don't know. It's one of those things, isn't it? It looks a bit different today because I'm pretty sure I had that in there. I don't know. But yeah, the trouble is you can really... so many different ways you can adjust these charts. It even looks a bit different today. But yeah, that's the one I took. The second entry, for me, it was pretty straightforward. Second entry, nothing too complicated about it. But then we did have some more, a little bit of sideways there, some more pushes down. So if you did carry on yesterday, you're probably beautiful. We've touched that measured leg. That's what I was hoping. So you may have got some trades yesterday. So I was quite happy with the one, actually. At the moment, my accounts are building nice. And I kind of like one. I know I'm guaranteed, to finish the day on the green. And I've got to say, when I take one trade, I get very nervous about getting into another trade because I guarantee I'm going home with money in my pocket. Whereas if I take another trade, so I suppose it's all part of the journey, isn't it? You go from being careless to being overcautious and then hopefully trying to find some sort of middle ground. Because if we don't often see really great trades. They are few and far between now. So I think it's still important if you do see one, even though you've taken a trade, to still take it because, that's part of the business, isn't it? We see a really good setup, we take it. But I know, I get it that you get a bit nervous because I'm at that level now where I'm finding, I'm thinking, I don't want to take another trade. You know what I mean? But really, I think it's still important that if you do see one, you've still got to take it. A lot of people saying you can't be scared. It's easier said than done, really, isn't it? But good day, Lance. Yeah, same to you, Exponential. Crazy day yesterday. Yeah, negative comments from Jackson Hole didn't help. Yeah, I didn't know much about it, but I heard something later on. I was browsing around the net last night, and I did hear that there was some negative comments. And it sent the markets in a bit of a downward spiral. I think, didn't the NQ lose about 2%, which doesn't sound a lot, but in one day it is quite a chunk. So it does make you wonder. A lot of the time when we get this news, market drops and then usually it recovers. So it'd be interesting to see if we do get a strong push up today, whether it will recover. But what I am seeing is a leg up, a two-legged correction. And when we see this, we quite often get another very accurate measured leg up. So if we can identify it, we may get up here. And the good thing about when we have this leg in a correction is a good chance we're going to get up here. So if we can get into a good setup here, it just gives you that confidence that, So that's played out for sure. We know that. So we've got leg down, and we've got a double bottom here, which is a good sign. So I'm hoping we now start to push up, and if we can push up and then get a higher low, maybe we can get in and out of a trade before this news. Now, it is important. Now, I have been, I don't know if you've been sort of bumping around the Facebook sites, but I know quite a few people have been mentioning about these our orders. Now, you probably saw me doing it a couple of times. We get a limit order.
Order submitted.
If I move it like this, watch it change. It goes orange first, and then blue. And that's okay today, but sometimes it's been freezing orange. And you haven't been able to do anything about it. I've found if I right-click and close it down and then reboot NinjaTrader, it has got rid of it. So just keep that in mind if you get any problems like that. But I know there's a few people have been saying they've been getting problems. And I know one guy, I don't know how true this is, but one guy said he lost a bunch of accounts and a chunk of money. So, and in all fairness, I think he said Apex said it wasn't them or whatever. I don't know. But in all fairness, I don't know the full story. So it wouldn't be fair to assume Apex did nothing about it, because in all fairness, I don't know the situation. But just be aware if it does happen. I've found if I clear it or cancel it and then reboot it, it doesn't show it that's got rid of it. It's still there. But then if you reboot NinjaTrader, it does it has got rid of it. Okay, so there is a second entry long, and that did push up, and it was a measured move exactly. Now, some of you may have taken that, and I don't blame you, but I'm a little bit cautious at the moment. I tend to wait for the higher low, but you can see 2 clear legs, can't you? You can't argue with that. It doesn't get any clearer, and then we get a nice bullish bar. So I think it's okay to take that long, and I wouldn't be surprised if Mac, but the way that's pushing up. But you can clearly see we've got a leg, and then we've got a 2-legged correction, and I fully expect a leg up here, but it'd be nice to get a higher low. But so many times it doesn't, it just pushes on up, but I'd love to get just a quick higher low, then I'm quite happy to take that. But and then just, yeah, but look, it's not, it does make you wonder whether traders aren't even waiting for higher lows anymore, whether they're just jumping straight in, because look, you got bar, and there's no hint of even back by a tick, which is a bit blooming frustrating. But at some point, it should come back a little bit. Yeah, look at that. It's frustrating, isn't it? So if you did take that, well done. I mean, that's, yeah, look at that. If you'd have come out of the highs, I said, now there's no reason why you can't put your profit at the highs after a nice 2-legged correction like that, because I'd fully expect to get a lot higher. But it is frustrating. Look, there's no hint of that. But if we can get a couple of legs back here, I think it'd be a nice trade to go long. I just hope it happens quick, because we've got that news in about 30 minutes. Market is officially open. It's been open just over a minute. So we'll have to keep an eye on this. But yeah, did any of you guys take that, did you? I don't think it was a bad trade at all, in all fairness. But I just tend to... hey, Brick, how you doing? No trading for me today. Hope you're all well. I'm okay. I'm excellent, I am. So, it'd be nice to get a couple of legs down here. But I do expect that measured leg to get up there. Now, whether we get up there before the news, I don't know. But the way things are moving... Okay, so... There's our first push up, and here's our first pullback. Let's see. Chris James, how you doing, pal? So, let me have a look here. There is a second entry on the, in fact, it's more like a hidden second entry on the 1,000-tick chart. But as we've made a new high, I'd like to wait for a higher low just to confirm that we are pushing up. I'm going to drag the 1,000 in quickly, and you can see that it's more like a hidden second entry long there. Clearly worked, but I like to wait for a higher low when we've just broken these highs, because technically that channel's played out, but the way that's pushing up, there's no argument there. So so that would have been an okay trade. Nothing really, no setup on the took a long. Good for you, mate. Where did you take it? 43.90, 43.98.5. Okay, here. Good for you. Now, in all fairness, now this is me personally, in all fairness, I'd hold on to that. I'd have my take profit under here, and I'd wait for the next swing down, because I think the way that's pushing up, I think it's very likely going to get up here. But that's just my opinion. Don't listen to me. But if you took that, I'd have my, depending, I mean, you might have got straight in and out, but I'd have my order there, I would. My take profit there. So you guaranteed yourself 7.5. I mean, how nice is that? Guarantee yourself 7.5 points. So let's see if we can get some sort of a channel working here. But this so far looks textbook. Leg up, perfect 2-legged correction, and moving up nicely. So, so far so good. Now, things can always go wrong. What we're seeing now, it may even be a slightly wider channel, that I don't know. It's probably a bit early to put that channel in, so I'm going to remove it. We've got a leg up, breaking a new high, so just keep in mind that that news is coming in 25 minutes and it could give us some fireworks. So I'm watching from a Witherspoons. You lucky bastard. If anybody doesn't know what a Witherspoons is in the UK, it's just a pub chain. So I'm guessing he's sat in a pub with a beer. So good for you, mate. Good for you. So, there's a hidden second entry on
order filled.
The, damn it, I'm going to lose this trade. What am I missing here? I made a mistake here, I think.
Order filled.
Yeah, I have, damn it. What's gone on? It seemed to move quite quick there. Well, that's not a good start, is it? I took a hidden second entry long on the 1,000 tick chart. I think I jumped the gun a bit. Yeah, I did. That was a bit of a mistake. Okay, it happens. We just got some real quick movements there. That made me a bit nervous. I actually took a trade, Bob, on the 1,000 tick chart. I'm not sure if you know that. What I took, just too early. Yeah, what I took was this. I took that one. We sort of had a leg down, a bit of sideways and a leg down. I took that one. And it triggered me and stopped me out. There's no other one that I can see. But we seem to have a leg down, a bit sideways and another leg down. So that was a hidden second entry long. But yeah, a little bit too excited there. A little bit too carried away, but there we go. It happens. I think sometimes, sometimes I like to settle a little bit first before I jump in. I'm that focused on it going up here. See, I'm thinking any tiny little move and we're pushing up. So that's fine. That's just lack of experience, that. That's okay. Not major damage, down 1.5 points. That's okay. Hey Fuad, hello, how you doing? Have I missed anybody? No. Bob, how you doing? No. Okay. Yeah, I'm not convinced this this channel is right. Okay, let's put that back to where it was. Too low correction, pushing up. It's just going a bit sideways, I think. Leg up sideways. I do expect another leg up at some point. That's a possibility. One, two, three. Possible triple test. One, two, three. Okay, it's going sideways. It may continue to go sideways now up until the news. We'll have to see. Starting to look a bit bearish here. Strangely enough, we've got this new high here. Trying to go on strike twice. Yeah, it's starting to look bearish, unless it's just going to trap a load of shorts and just rock on up. It has triggered there, but it is starting to look bearish. Keytree, how you doing? Looking at the news, I might wait 2 hours. So we got news in 15 minutes, haven't we? So we'll have to see what happens there. So quite a nice strong bullish bar there. It could be trap city there, in all fairness. Okay, clearly going sideways. So I'm just going to take a quick 5-minute break. I'm going to go and make a cup of tea. Got a little bit too excited on a trade on the 1,000 tick chart, so I'm down 150 plus fees per account. The good thing about being on the 1,000 tick chart is the risk is a little bit less, but there you go. So I was that focused on pushing up to this. I got in around here and just got taken out, but luckily it was a relatively it was a point risk, tick above, tick below. So there is a higher low there, bullish bar, higher low, but we got that news coming. So what you don't want to do is get triggered and you start going sideways, but it may just, we'll see anyway. So just going to take a quick 5-minute break. Okay. I'll be back in 5 minutes. Okay. Okay, clearly untradeable that. I did, yeah. I got my I earned $2,000. I got paid $2,000 this month. I applied for it on the 5th, and I think I got it on the 10th. I got it really early. In fact, I'll tell you when I got it. Let me have a look. I got it. Oh, I got mine on the 8th. $2,000 on the 8th. So I got that really early, actually. $2,000, which equates to £1,563.97. So that's early. Normally, you're supposed to get on the 15th, but I got mine 3 days after. I was quite surprised, actually. I got $4,000 in June. I got that early as well. I got one earlier on, around about the 15th, and I got another one the 26th of June, normally be paid at the end of the month. And I got another one on the 13th, normally be paid on the 15th. So they can pay them really early sometimes. It's just quite surprising. Yeah, it is. Sometimes they'll do it on the 15th, but I've always found it's a bit earlier. But I suppose if it's all cleared, get it paid, get it out of the way, I suppose. I don't know, but yeah. Well, that's when your account turns PA from an evaluation. Does Apex automatically charge you £85? No. What you do is you'll get an email congratulating you. You can download a certificate. You have to fill a form in, which is, for me, I have to put my passport number in, tick a few boxes. So you've got to pay the performance fee first. So it tells you to log into your account and pay the performance fee, and it gives you the option to pay £85 monthly, or 80, whatever it is, sorry, dollars. Or you can have a one-off payment, and I use, as you know, use the $50,000 account, so I paid $140. So the 4 I've got now, I've had those counts between 2 and 3.5 months. So straight away, I've already saved it. So it gives you the option, and then you fill another form in where you tick a few boxes, and then you just put your passport number or whatever it is for you guys in the US, whether you put your tax number in or something, I'm not too sure. And then it's up and running in 5 minutes. Away you go. It's pretty. I've got to say, other prop firms I've tried where I've passed PA accounts, it can take a couple of days to get it all up and running. But with Apex, it's quick. I usually get an email early hours of the morning UK time, and then I'm up and running for that day. So it's all pretty quick. Can you decide to wait to pay? You can do if you want, yeah. I like to try and take a bit. I've had a bit for a few months but I like to try and take a bit per month. I mean, I could have had this month. I could take the accounts are a couple of trades away from $2,600, and we're not even at the beginning of the next month yet. So by the time that comes, I just plan to take 1,000, because ultimately, when you first start to get your first few pays, you don't care how much is in there. You just want to get paid. But the trouble is, if you wait to get $2,600 and you take 2,000 out, it only leaves you with $500, and it's probably not going to last you. Just the fact that you've only got that couple of trades and you're out of the game. So, but after a while, I think you realise, okay, if I want to keep these accounts building and paying me regular money every month, you've got to let them grow a bit. So this month, again, I'm just deciding to take 1,000 from each. Sorry, next month, which will be September. The plan is just to take 1,000 from each, and that should, hopefully by that time, I don't know, maybe we're talking another couple of weeks away. I mean, I may wait up until the 20th of next month, which will give me about 3 weeks. So hopefully maybe 3,000 each, maybe a bit more. And then the plan is when they get to say 5,000, then I might start taking 2,000 a month out. We'll see. It's a bit of a sort of a work in progress at the moment. It's a pretty straightforward deal. Yeah. You just sign up for a deal account, and I have mine set to go straight from deal. I have mine going into my Revolut account, and I pay for the Revolut Steel, which is £12.99 a month. And that gives me unlimited foreign exchange, because obviously we get paid in dollars, but over in the UK, we're in British pounds. So mine goes straight into my deal account, and then all I do is just do a currency exchange from dollars to pounds. And so if you're in the UK, by far the cheapest way to do it, because a bank will charge you about 3%. So on $2, it's about $60 they charge you. Is that right? No, 90. Let me think. $2,000. 10% is 200. 1% is 20. 60. Yeah, they'll charge you $60. Sorry, £60, I think. Something like that. But with Revolut, it doesn't cost me. It costs me $12.99 a month, but I can exchange whatever I want. So $12.99 a month compared to $60. It's a no-brainer. So, do you no longer bother with other prop firms? Since I've been with Apex for about a year, maybe a touch more, but in all fairness, at the moment, I can't see what any other prop firm would offer me that Apex can't. I've been paid. What have I had? I've had 2, 4, 8, 9, 10, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I've had $10,000 so far this year, over about the 3 months, I think. Should have another $4,000 in the next few weeks. That's $14,000. So I've had payments, and I've never had an issue. One of them was questionable, that I got a bit lucky on, but they still paid me. So I'm comfortable with the fact that I've been with them. I've not had any real problems, and they've paid me every time. So far, so good. So I don't think anybody can touch Apex at the moment. Now, Apex have got this 50% off and 50% off for each sets. I think Bull and Ox have got 91% off. So there are better discounts at the moment, but I wouldn't expect it to be long. Okay, so we're getting some news. I wouldn't expect it to be long before we get another offer. In fact, I'd say we're going to have one for the Labour Day weekend that's up and coming. Hey, Sam, how you doing, bud? Who was the Forex trader you started with? A guy called Andrew Lockwood. He was part of something called Forex Signals. I believe he sold it because he's got his own thing now, which is called City Traders. But he's a really nice guy. I've spoken to him on the phone a couple of times. And he traded in the London Stock Exchange during the 1980s, and he's been a trader for over 30 years. And he's got a nice big house in London. He's got a place abroad, but he's not the bragging type, he's not like that. He's a nice guy, but he looks like Phil Collins, just out of interest, if you do see him. He looks like Phil Collins, but he's a nice guy. He's very, very much into risk management and all that sort of thing. So he's not one of these stupid traders. He's very sensible. Yeah, Andrew Lockwood. His name is. When your account turns PA, can you wait to activate it? I don't believe you can. I think you have to do it within 48 hours. But if you pay the one-off monthly payment, you don't have to trade it straight away if you don't want to. So we are in some news now. So I believe it's Chairman Powell talking. So I don't know how long he's talking for. Sometimes I've had a channel up with him talking, but some of you guys might know a bit more about that. Whether he's on first, I don't know. Whether it's a short speech or whether it's, I don't know. What is he? Is he addressing Congress? I don't quite know. But we had a little bit of a spike, but nothing major. So I don't know whether he's. I'm assuming he's talking now. So depends on whether the subject goes slightly on the negative side. It may jump. But I would say some of you guys probably know. I mean, you know, you're used to this a bit more in the US. So I don't know. Is it safe to trade now? I'm assuming not. Is it? We just got to be a little bit cautious. Anytime, Sam. Anytime. How you getting on, Sam? Anyway. 10:05 Eastern Time, right? You're on about the news. It's happening now. Judging by there's some slightly bigger bars and a little bit of volatility there. So, in fact, I'm just going to bring this down because it looks like we may. I'm just going to, at the moment, oh, hello. I'm just going to assume this may be a little bit of rangy at the moment. It's made a stupid mistake I did. While it's getting a bit volatile, I'll just show you the trade I took. I'm just going to open that up. That's it there. We had this leg up with the two-legged corrections. Really strong moves. I wasn't sure what this right. We seemed to have a break. It looked like a hidden second entry long with quite a nice bar. Triggered me, stopped me out, went up. So I was a little bit too excited there, thinking about this bigger push up for this bigger measured leg. But that's okay. That's, you know, lack of experience. I've only been trading this style for just a couple of months, over 2 years. So I'm still, you know, it takes time. I'm still finding my feet. He's making dovish comments. Okay. Not got the copy yet. Copy. Are you on about Replicanto, bud, are you? Might be able to help you out there. Might be able to get your copy for nothing. But you might need to stream for a few days. But if you contact them, yeah, Replicanto, okay, contact them, say you're a live streamer, tell them what your channel is, and then just say, you know, is it okay if I have a free copy? And I'll talk about it. And they gave me one. They gave one. It was the other guy, the guy with the young fella. What's his name? Moo. They gave him one as well. So if they think you're a streamer and you'll talk about it. Yeah, I mean, in all fairness, I wouldn't advertise it if I didn't think it was any good. Now, you all know I use Replicanto. I tried using the Apex's own, but it was just too problematic for me. But if they think you're a streamer, yeah, just say, you know, I'm from the UK, I'm a streamer. I trade live. Any chance I could have a copy, and I'll recommend it, and they'll give you a copy. It's pretty straightforward, mate. So that'll save you about 100 and what is it? There's 20% off it now, but it will save you about $130, I think. So, yeah, absolutely, they'll give you it, mate. They're good like that. So what's going on here? Wish Apex would do the same. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I like Apex as a prop firm. In my opinion, is how I feel at the moment. I think they're about the best out there. But the trade copy, I found it a little bit problematic. But in all fairness, you've got to say both sides. I have chatted to people who say they've never had a problem with it. So it just, I don't know, it's what you're used to. But you guys see me use Replicanto daily, and you don't see me having any problems. Yes, it says awaiting approval. That usually lasts a day or two. Where are we now? 25th. Officially, you're supposed to get it on there, but if it's saying waiting approval, I would say a couple of days, mate, in all fairness. But the good thing is, you've got it. Is it your first, is it? Is it your first? Well, I'm assuming it must be. If it is your first, then congratulations, David. It's nice to get your first payment. I was dead excited. Just a shame I blew the account in the end, but I think it's quite common. You get your first payment, you think you've cracked it as a trader, and you don't think you can put a foot wrong, and all of a sudden you get a serious reminder that things don't always work that way. Okay, there is a failure there with the bullish bar that's triggered. That might not be a terrible trade, but it is a bit volatile at the moment. So there's a second entry long there, which is triggered. Stopped out, but it is a bit volatile, so you've got to be just a little bit careful at the moment. You guys know about sort of US economics and politics. Obviously, me being from the UK, you're sort of a lot more up to date than I am. So I don't tend to know a lot of this work. So that did work there. Second entry long, which triggered. I like the way it pushed up really strong, then triggered, and then we came down quick and unfortunately blew them one day after. I've had a £1 cushion. £1? 1k cushion, yeah. The thing is, when I started streaming, actually was the first payment I had. It was in January, and I got my account up to, in fact, I got up to quite a bit. I think it was up to about $7,000 when I took a $2,000 payment. And I was floating around about the $5,500 after that. And I think you naturally get a bit too overconfident. And I had a really bad day. Instead of walking away after 2 losses, I carried on, and I ended up losing $2,300. And that really knackered me emotionally. And the following day, I lost $1,700. So it battered me that much. I just, in all honesty, I was doomed. It was just waiting to happen. I just never recovered from it. And then I lost the account, and I spent the next 2 months just throwing more money away, doing stupid things because I was frustrated and angry. And then in the end, I sort of managed to find a little bit of stability, and then I built another account, got another payment in April, I think. Then I got one in May, June. I missed July's. August, I've got one. I should have one in September. So they're coming more often and slightly larger. So, and I think that's how it works. You'll never go from being a complete, never earning anything to earning big bucks. In my opinion, I think it takes time. It's building those emotions up. Leg. It's all right. I'm just looking at a possible. No. Okay. So I was just looking at a possible trade. We've got a leg and a leg. No, it's going up, I think. It does seem to be holding on this midline. So I'm just looking at a possible trade on the... Okay. Yeah, I was just looking at a higher low with a trap, and it worked nicely, actually. I'm just going to drag the 1,000 in a minute. That's what I was looking at there. It was that one there. So second entry short, which triggered. So it was a failure. I was tempted to put my order above there, and it would have worked nice for 2 points, but it was moving that quick. I was a little bit hesitant and I held back a bit, but there you go. Better to be a bit cautious. But that worked nicely for 2 points anyway, so happy days. Let's have a look. Thousand tick chart. I think what it was, trading pre-market, when I was just looking at it pre-market, obviously there's not a lot of bars. You'd only get maybe a handful of bars. So obviously, you know, if you use the 1,000 instead of the 2,000 tick chart, you're going to get double the amount of bars. And I found that actually you could trade it because it works just the same. Obviously, you know, if I started to trade, say, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock in the morning here, it's hard to trade that because there's nothing there really, is there? But if you go with 1,000 tick, you get twice as much, so it's a lot more tradable. So that's why, really.
Order filled.
Okay. There is
order filled.
Beautiful. There is I just took a setup, a higher low on the 1,000 tick chart, and it worked really quickly. So I'm just going to drag that in and show you. We've got this channel up here. We had a second entry long, broke below there, and that's what I went. Second entry long, high low, pushed up nice and strongly. That gave me my... Oh, I got a little bit of slippage there, just a touch. Those are the two fees. Got a little bit of slippage there, so at least I'm back in the game. That pushed up nicely, actually. I could have held a lot more. So, okay, so... the only slightly concerning thing now is the markets are moving very quick, and you've got to be a bit careful. So there's clearly, in my opinion, more setups on the 1,000 tick chart. Clearly. So there was no setup there really. It was just a first entry. No setup there, but as I showed you on the 1,000, there clearly was. Now down here, no setup down here. If I bring in the 1,000 quickly, there's clearly one, two. Excuse me a second. Sorry about that. Touch. Second entry long. Stroke higher low worked really nice. That was on the 1,000 tick chart. So I'm just seeing 3 to 1 at least on the 1,000 tick chart that isn't on the 2,000. So, I mean, bear in mind, this is just my opinion, but in all fairness, if you look, but if it is of interest here, just at the end of the day, when the markets are done or whatever, open both up. Go through the normal 2,000 tick charts. Obviously, you'll probably know what's available anyway, and then just get the 1,000 tick chart and go through that and just see if there's. That's what I did. Just see if there's any setups on the 1,000 tick chart, and I did that for a few days, and I noticed there was 3 times as many setups on the 1,000 tick chart. Christ, I wish I'd have held on to that now. So for me. And the reason I did it is because I'm struggling to find setups at the moment on the 2,000 tick chart. So that's why I decided to have a look, because obviously it stands, you know, it's obvious if you you go to the 1,000 tick chart, you'll have double the amount of bars. So, God, I wish I'd have held on to that now. Let me just bring this 1,000 in quickly. Well, you can see it there, can't you? So that's what I took there. That one there. Push up. Second entry long. Rocketed straight up like that. I mean, that one up, what? 5, 10, 15, 17 points straight up. But I think part of being a trader is adapting to different situations, and I have found it really slow at the moment and a lack of good quality setups, especially second entries. You have to be fast. In fact, at the moment you do, Sam, yeah, absolutely, because the market's a bit volatile, but it's not a huge amount of difference. And what I usually do is I eyeball this, and when we have, let's say, for instance, we have a break here and we have a push up, this is then where I move on to the 1,000 and I just blow the 1,000 up nice and tight and I wait for a setup. So I wait for it to come back to where I'd expect a setup. And then I take and then I look, but it does move a bit faster, granted. I won't deny that, but markets are moving quite fast at the moment because Powell talking. So they are spitting out some bars quite rapidly at the moment, in all fairness. God, I wish I'd have held on to that. Friggin' rocketed up. That's gone up. Let me have a look. 5, 10, 15, 20. It's gone up 25 points from where I came into that. 25 points in about, what? 3 minutes? No. No. Let's say 13 minutes past. Where are we now? Less than 15 minutes. Less than 15 minutes. Okay, so we've had another break now by the looks of things. Let's have a look. Looks like Powell's done. Let's trade. Excellent. So at least I managed to get my foot back in the door. I had a bit of slippage there for some reason, which I don't usually get, in all honesty. But oh well. Should have gone for an extra tick, shouldn't I? So there may be a bit of an overshoot there. Let me just get this as accurate as I can. Yeah, I think that's probably an overshoot. It did go up a bit keen, didn't it? And the way it's coming down. Yeah, so he's pretty quick. So that's okay. That's okay. It's coming down pretty rapid, isn't it? So the way I had this looks quite nice, and then in all fairness, we went up nice and strongly, didn't we? So that, I think it's best to assume that's an overshoot. So let me have a look. Is that measured like work, does it? There. Let's go to here. So no, not quite. It's a shame about that first trade. I just got a bit excited. But that's okay. Sometimes I like to sit at the market for about 15 or 20 minutes just to relax a bit. Because I think you guys are pretty much the same as me. When you get on the chart, you can feel your heart rate climb a little bit and your blood seems to move around your body just a little bit. And you get that sort of nervous, excited, like an excited dog who pisses all over you. You get a little bit too excited, don't you? And it's very easy to get a bit too excited and see something that might be a little bit silly. And I still do that from time to time, and it's okay. I've learned that I've got to forgive myself sometimes because I'm only human, and I'm still an inexperienced trader. I've been trading this style for just over 2 years. And in the grand scheme of things, you know, I would say to now I am just scratching the surface of the intermediate level. In other words, I know enough to make money, but I'm still slipping silly stuff from time to time. But like first time I unbuttoned it, yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what it's like, yeah. I still remember that very first moment, actually. we were in the cinema. I was about, probably shouldn't say actually. How old was I? Properly about 15, I think, in all fairness. But yeah, exactly right, mate. Yeah, a little bit too excited, but it's okay. I think it's okay for that to happen. Yeah, I did it a bit ago. Yeah, it happens. It does happen. You get a bit excited. So we got a level down here. It's best to assume we've had a break. Otherwise, that may catch you out. You may go short here, and it may sting you. It's not to say it can't come down. It does take time. Absolutely, it does, mate. Yeah. I think every year you just get better and better, don't you? But it is an emotional business, and when you have strong emotions, you do make things. In fact, I've read this before. And I'll read it again. There's a guy, I'll just tell you his first name, he might be private. Martin, his name is. He's a guy in the Facebook group. And if ever I've had any problems or issues, or I need a little pick-me-up, or I'm struggling emotionally, I usually put a comment on there. And sometimes you just need a little bit of a pep talk. And this guy, he just seems to say the right things. He's just good with words, and he sent me this little message on there, and I printed it out because I liked it that much. I changed a couple of the words just to make it sound, but it said, "It seems that despite everything man hear or read, and despite our best intentions, it's still necessary to experience moments of madness and impulsive trading to finally be forged into a great trader." So that trade I took was a little bit impulsive, a little bit immature and impulsive, probably the best way to describe it. But it's okay. It's okay. It is important to forgive yourself, and sometimes you've just got to let go and admit that it's okay to make a mistake. So we've had a break and a new low here. Now it doesn't mean we can't come back and make another new low, but you've just got to be extra cautious. It's always best to assume that that's a break. Well, you can't deny that. We fit there. It is a little break. So it might mean it may trap some shorts and push up. So there may be some shorts in that, and I wouldn't be shocked if it does push above it, but it might not because we've just come in again. So, but we may go a bit sideways there. Indeed. First time I pulled the girl's blouse. It's like a moment you never forget. It's like the best thing that's ever happened in your life, isn't it? Yeah, see that starting to push up a bit. Or it might be a lower high, actually. Okay, there is a lower high. In all fairness, I'm not a fan that they're both further away. I mean, we have had a break, but it doesn't mean it can't push back up and come lower. That lower high worked for a couple of points, but it's a bit... Both of them are a bit far from the EMA for me, but they clearly worked. So both my trades, the win and the loss, happened on the 1,000-tick chart. So it can be a little bit difficult to trade both at the same time, but I suggest that you focus on this, and when we come to an area where we may take glance over, but what I will say is if I'm finding the 1,000-tick chart is consistently producing the goods, I will move over to it permanently. And the good thing about the 1,000-tick at the moment, the ATR is at 3 points, so your average, if you tick above, tick below, your average risk is going to be 3.5 points. And that may be a bit rich for some people. It's more than I want to risk because an average bar with a tick below will risk me $350. And I go for around about 2 points, which is a little bit more than I like to risk. But if you look at the 2000 tick chart, it's a smidgen over 2. So you're talking 2.5 points. It's a point more risk on the 2000 tick chart. So that's another useful thing. You're risking a little bit less. So, with the exception of that quick push out, strong push out, strong push back in, I think it's fair to say we seem to be going, we're ranging, I think, it is probably the fairest way to say. Let's put that there. So that might be a bit better. Okay. Maybe a spike and a chance. Well, spike I think is the optimum word, isn't it? Let's put that on that bar there and open that up a fraction, and that kind of doesn't look too bad. Maybe from here, here. Kind of works okay, doesn't it? But we are coming down to these lows, so but yeah, markets are moving particularly quick today, in all fairness. I'm assuming there's going to be did anybody, am I dreaming this, or did Mac mention there's likely to be more traders back at work now, or am I dreaming that? I do have dreams of trading in my sleep, and sometimes I can't remember whether there's something I've dreamt or not. Okay. It kind of looks like it's working there. What I want to be careful is I don't get short here and trapped and push up. We can certainly come down a bit here. Yeah, he said that the volatility this week is pretty good, especially compared to last week. Okay. So, there is a lower high there, but the bar's naff. Depends how you've drawn your thing here, but let me have a look. Yeah, we're coming down. This. Possible
Order submitted.
failure on the 1000 tick chart. I'm not sure about this though. No, let's get rid of that.
Order
Push that
cancelled.
strong. So leg up, leg up. Maybe this is a break. Maybe the channel's wrong. I don't know. I'm a bit on the fence here as to what's going on. Yeah, okay, so maybe that's just a break. No setup there, nothing on the 1,000 tick either. I kind of like the channel, it doesn't look too bad. Say touch, touch, touch with a break. Breaking a new low, but no setup. Excuse me, just for a quick minute, I'm just going to take a quick bathroom break. Okay. We've actually had a break and a new low, so you've got to be careful going short again. I think it's a mistake. That looks like a trap to me. That one there. It might not be, but I'm a bit sure about it because we've had a breaker there and a new low, so I think that might be a bit risky. It may go up and stop that short out. So be careful taking that. Well, depends how you draw on this channel in all fairness, but that looks like a break to me. It is a second entry short, but that's almost definitely going to get stopped out. Yeah, so you just got to be careful there. It is a failure. It is a second entry long there, so you're going to trap the shorts, but for me, you've got to remember we've had a break and a new low, so now this may trap some more shorts here if this triggers. Or it may come down because it's closer to the EMA. I'd be careful going long here because we may, or sorry, I'm not going to go long here because we may do this. So if you do go long there, you might not have a lot there. So it's a bit choppy now. So just be a bit cautious. It's going to be trap city. Yeah, there you go. So that triggered you. If you want to take the lower high, triggered you, stopped you out. You may have gone long there. You may go long there. I don't think it'd be long before those two stops are going to get taken out because it's going sideways to me. You're held at the minute, but that's going to take out that stop and that one, I'd say. In fact, it might be coming down actually. So yeah, if you thought actually we may be pushing up because we've made the new low, you may have taken that long or that long. It's a failure. In fact, second entry short, which triggered, pushed up, stop out. So you may have taken that long and then it's come down, but it's just looking like traps after traps. There's short traps, long traps there. Yeah, it is kind of nasty. On the other hand, note the 7% Copperberg pear cider is absolute. I like that recorderlig I do. Is it the strawberry lime? Recorderlig. I went down to Winchester. I got a family member living in Winchester down, which actually used to be the capital city in the UK, just in case you're interested. It's a beautiful place. They've got Winchester Cathedral there, which is 900 years old. And there was one predated that by 400 years old. Amazing place. And they got a lovely pub down there called the Slug and Lettuce. And I remember sitting there knocking back some ciders a year ago. And drinking some Lafroig 10-year-old Scotch whisky at £15 a double. You don't have many of them, that's for sure. Okay, so I did say it looks like it's starting to come down because we've still got space at the bottom if we're ranging where I would expect it to bounce off. I don't think there's any kind of a channel here. There may be. It's more sideways than down, I think. It's bedtime. Good to end with a green. Yeah, absolutely. Have a great weekend, mate. Good for you. Yeah, if you can end the weekend green, it's great. You have a really enjoyable weekend. I know my wife, I think, prays on a Friday that I've had a green day. At least I've managed to get everything back bar a couple of bits of fees and one tick of slippage there, which I'm not too fussed about. The next trade will clear all that up. Where are we going to bounce? Now, there is the overnight low, so let's see what happens. Just a tip. I was in a trade and everything froze orange. I have shorted for flat and everything, and it saved me from losing everything. Yeah, it's funny you should mention that, mate. I mentioned it earlier. It's happened to me a few times. And if anybody doesn't know,
Order submitted.
Watch when I move this, it turns orange for a second. Now, sometimes they've been freezing orange and you haven't been able to get rid of them. But if you shut it down, click there,
order cancelled.
right click and cancel orders or whatever. And if it still shows, quickly shut Ninja Trader down and open it. And I think you'll find it will have cancelled. But there has been a little bit of discussion. Thanks for bringing that up, John. There has been a bit of discussion on some of the Facebook groups about it because I think some guy lost a bunch of PAs and I don't know, $18,000 or something. I don't quite know all the ins and outs of it, but just be cautious of that it is happening. So do what I do, and if you're looking for a trade, open it down here. So it's out the way, and if something does go wrong, you've got to, but I just tend to check it. It's okay at the moment, but if it's well out the way, at least you've got time to respond. But just try the usual closing it down. And then if it's still showing, just reboot Ninja Trader, and that seems to sort the problem out. So what I will say is the ATR is climbing a bit now, so your average risk is going to be close to 4 points with a tick above, tick below. So just be a bit careful there. But I appreciate that, John. Yeah, it's worth talking about. I've been having a few little bits of conversations with people on the Facebook group about that. So the Apex Facebook groups or whatever they are. Yeah. Last thing you want to do is work hard and build an account just to have it blown. That will be absolutely gut-wrenching. Okay, a bit more sideways stuff. So maybe we put that there for now. And I'll just put something down here so at least we know. Extend right, at least I know where the bottom is. But it's touched twice there and we're a tick away there, so I'm quite happy to say that that for now is the bottom of this range. And there may be a bit of a channel working up. It's a bit more clearer on the 1,000 tick chart. Okay, that's just knackered it. Get rid of it for now. Yeah, in all fairness, I don't exactly know why it does that, whether it turns orange. I don't know whether it's anything to do with rhythmic or whether it's a NinjaTrader issue. I don't quite know, in all fairness. I've heard a few rumours, but that's just what they are, rumours, so it'd be unfair to speculate whether it would, is anything to do with rhythmic or NinjaTrader. Okay, so leg. Have a look. I thought everything was looking quite bearish at one point, and then with that strong push up and then an equally strong push down. Let's see if we got anything from market. Yes, good. Okay, yeah, basically the same. That's the same. He's got a bit of sideways here. He's got that like that with a break. He's got that like that. But he hasn't got it as an overshoot. He's got like that, and his stopped here. So, okay, excellent. Okay, so downward stuff. I had my thoughts we were going to come down. So we've got a leg. I think we've got a leg and a leg. So let's have a look. Oops. Let's put that there to maybe, I don't know, where do we go here? And then maybe there. So that is a possibility. Leg down. That's sort of our biggest pullback. Maybe that one, I don't know, but we're certainly looking at getting quite low anyway. So I'm thinking bearish now. Now, depends how you draw this. I think the safe option is to do that with a break. We can get rid of that now. Well, I'm going to leave that there at the minute. Yeah. So things are starting to look bearish. We're going sideways there. We had a drop out the top. In fact, sometimes you can get a push out the top and an equal one at the bottom. So it may not necessarily be coming down. It may just be a break and it might push back in. It is possible. So you've just got to be a bit cautious going short here. It might work, but as we've had this overshoot from this range, which is relatively clear, it may push back in. I'm not saying it definitely will, but it's certainly possible. There is a lower high on the 1,000 tick chart, but something's making me a little bit nervous. Depends how you have this channel, really. You may have it like that, in which case we've had a break and a new low. I think it's probably better to assume the latter. Okay, that lower high on the 2,000 tick chart would have got stopped out. Let me have a look. Oh no, it went 2.5 points. It'd have got 2 points easily, but then it pushed up. Oh. It's getting a little bit congested here. I'm a little bit unsure as to what's going on. It is possible it could push back into that range because obviously we've had this drop, this push out the top. We've had the very similar sort of size at the bottom. So you've got to be careful going short here. I mean, I've got this leg and this leg, which is possible, but in fact, it might be a good idea to get rid of that because it might affect your bias, but maybe there is a bigger channel. It may be a spiking channel. Let me just go from this side. Sometimes that makes it a bit clearer. Yeah, it is possible we have a bigger channel there. Started from there, then a touch there. Let's bring that down a bit. It's possible. Push down, maybe 2 tier along this tier, then across sideways, and then this tier. It's possible. So I'm just going to keep an eye on that. Yeah, it is a bit early, but what I like about it is we've pushed down strongly and we're working in this bottom tier, and then we push across and now we're working in this tier and it's fitting quite nice. So I still think it's possible that we've tried pushing up a couple of times and it hasn't worked. So I still think now there's going to be a second leg. You've just got to be a little bit careful. We have had this leg down and we've made a couple of attempts to go higher, so that might be the type of trade that the penguin guy takes. Leg down, 2 attempts to go higher, failure and down. So I'd say from what I'm seeing here, I expect some more downward stuff. We've made a couple of attempts to push back in here and it's clearly pushed up, dropped, pushed up, dropped. Still got to be a bit careful. No. There is a failure on the 1,000 tick chart, but it's a little bit sideways. You can see it here, can't you? And it may drop down, but it may also be starting to bottom there. If we've worked in this tier and we've moved across and we've worked in this tier, it's coming. It started here and it's coming away from the middle of this, from this middle line. So it could be bottoming. In fact, let me get rid of this because, in all fairness, it does look like it's some sort of a channel, but I'd rather wait for it to push down a bit first because it is bottoming a bit there. So there is a possibility that we may make a, I don't know, a push up or a break or what, I'm not sure. But we've got sort of like a big sort of curve there, haven't we? I think it is likely we're going to continue down. Trouble is, no setups there. Yeah, it does look like it, and no setups. There was a failure on the, I'll just drag the 1,000 in. There was a failure on the 1,000 tick chart, that one there, so we pushed up. Second entry long, which triggered and pushed down. So there was a failure there, and that did work for a couple of points, clearly. But it's a bit congested there, so I'm a little bit just uneasy at the moment as to know what's. Once we start to move down a bit more, then I'm starting to think, okay. But as we've had this breakout at the bottom here, I just want to give it umpteen opportunities to push back up. So now we sort of pushed down into this tier, across now in this tier. Let me have a look. Let's just keep an eye on it. Happy to put that there. I mean, yeah, don't pay too much attention to this channel at the moment. It might not be valid. If we do come down from there, then let me just touch that there and check this all fits fine. Let's put that to there. Okay, so if we do continue to work down from there, I'm happy that that channel's valid. But it is a bit early at the moment because it is down sideways a bit. It's definitely congested. So you could get stung here a bit, but I think that target is quite likely. So I can see some downward movement now. too far from the MA there. No room to the bottoms. Excuse me a second. Sorry. If you draw a spike and channel of the bodies instead of the stems, it seems to fit. I think I have got it more or less, haven't I? A spike and channel. Let's have a look. I don't think we're far away, really. Touch there. Yeah, I mean, even if you sort of draw it like that, it's still comfortable enough, really. Let's have a look. Yeah, that's close enough for me, and we're right at the top there. So, if this comes out a bit further to here, then I'll say maybe the spike and channel is from here out, because if you look, this backside's coming away, isn't it? So let me just keep an eye on this a minute. It is still coming down, but it's a little bit sideways, so you should be a bit extra cautious because it may have a little pop out. Right, I think I know what's going on now. Let's have a look. Leg. Okay, I thought as much. Yeah, got to be careful here. What I think's happening is this. Let's go for, say, here. For argument's sake, we may come a bit further out. Let's put that like that. Let's bring that down there to maybe there. Okay, that's what I think's going to happen now. Maybe from here to there. And if you look at the backside, it kind of fits. It may be slightly more of an angle. Maybe a spike and channel from there, possibly, say. Touch in there, which tells me the backside fits okay, which tells me it may continue sideways now till it gets to here. And that's what often it does. We push down, go sideways, hit a nice point, push down, go sideways, hit a nice point. So I would say that is likely to going to be a spike and channel from down there. Let me have a look. I was talking about starting the channel off. Oh, there you go. Perfect. So that's about a spike and channel I was talking about. Excellent. Okay, so great minds think alike, Chad. So yeah, whether it's that bar or that bar, I don't think it's going to be far off. I'm sort of mainly going with how it fits at the backside, really. And with a slight adjustment there, it fits nice at the backside. You can take that out just a wee fraction, maybe going for one of these bars there, and this is doing what I expect. Now, we look like we got a leg and a leg there, so that might give us a nice base. Excuse me. Now, just in case me and Chad don't know what the hell we're talking about, it's always feasible. There is a channel there, so it is possible it could go up, but I don't think it is. I think me and Chad... I think, well, there's a couple of us thinking like that. There's probably a few of you guys thinking the same way as well. I like that nice bearish bar there. I don't want to take it because we're in the middle of a channel, but what I'd like to see is a break, maybe a new high or a lower high, something like that. But I think that this other leg is going to come down. And if we can get some sort of entry from here, are you going long, are you? Okay, well, that's what I mean. You just don't know. Okay, so let me have a look. That's had a bit of a break, and it is possible that. But that's the trouble with trade. It's not black and white. It's a matter of adjusting, adapting, and trying to find something, something that fits. But if you look at that, just a visual quick look, it kind of fits nice. This may just be a break, maybe a retest of this, and then come down. Who knows? There's also a possibility that maybe some sort of a two-tiered channel. It's hard to say at the moment. I'm just going to leave that there for now. Clean breakout. Yeah. See, that's what I mean. We got a sort of a breakout, fell breakout at the top. There's always a possibility, but in all fairness, it tried a couple of times there and failed. So I thought, okay, maybe not. Maybe we are going to continue down, but so we've got a channel there, clear channel, works nice there, overshoot. So I would expect, usually an overshoot can result in a reversal. So what a nice place to reverse from. Retest these lows, and in all fairness, you can adjust that up if you want. Probably take it up to the bottom. No, wrong one. I want that highlight. Probably take that up to that bar there. That bar there. You could probably take it even a fraction more. Yeah, that's not too bad. So it's hard to say at the moment what's going on. Took the 71s long here. Yeah, let's have a look. Yeah, there was a failure there, wasn't there? Second entry short triggered. Push up, push up. I'm just wondering, it is looking like we may, with the overshoot, come back down, but the trouble is, let's rethink that. I mean, it could just be a break. I don't think it's a problem. Sometimes it's easier to go from the back end. Yeah, I mean, it could just be a break. I mean, technically, you might even say it hasn't really confirmed that. It's only sort of, you know, but you could say touch, touch, touch. It kind of fits in all fairness. I don't think there's a problem with how that's fitting. Sometimes if you squeeze them tight, they make a bit more obvious. Okay, so real strong push straight back in. So that's the thing. You never quite know whether it's just a breakout because we had one on the top. So let's get rid of that for the time being. Let's bring this down, pop it there for now. So it may just be a bigger range. So let's just shimmy that over. It's hard to know what to do here. Could be a couple of legs back and a push up, or it could be just struggle to get up there, so it's going to come down. I'm not massively convinced that channel's right. It's a bigger bull channel start from the lows. I've just had it down there, so maybe now it's come a bit wider. I didn't come out this far. Let's put it there because that kind of fits. So let's say this is probably a break. Touch, 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 touch. I'm happy with that. My only slight concern is it might be a bit of an overshoot. I'm not massively convinced it is, so I'll have to just keep an eye on that. Needs a clear VWAP. It's 4398. So maybe we get a higher low here. Yeah. Yeah, it may be a bit of an overshoot, that. See what happens here. I'm not going to take the first entry. If we can get a higher low, just in case I don't want to get trapped, I'd rather give it a chance to trigger and come down and stop out the failure, because I'm not sure whether this is an overshoot. I'm not massively convinced it isn't. Let's have a look at the bigger picture, because we have sort of pushed up here a few times and dropped, so there's clearly some congestion along there. You can some support, sorry. Right, okay, so that long has triggered. That's what I wanted to do, give it a chance to trigger and stop out. So try to go once, try to go twice. That may be a failure. Trapping that short, trapping that long. So that's what I mean. I always like to give it the opportunity to take that out and then maybe come down. And if it doesn't and pushes up, I'll usually then take the higher low. But that, it is a second entry long, but it's clearly congested a bit. It is on the EMA, but it could be a trap, because that might be an overshoot. And the way that's looking, it is. That's why I generally don't take that first one. Yeah, it stopped down. So if there's an overshoot, it could come down. It might not. It might just be a leg and a leg and then get a better, you know, maybe get some more interest. But it is a second entry long, but in my opinion, it's risky. And hence it triggered, came down and stopped out. So we may have a leg, we may have two measured legs down and then some more upwards. Hard to say. Leg, leg, and then up. If we get a nice correction here, right to the nearest tick, that might be okay. So let's put it, say, there and there. Somewhere around about there anyway. Leg, leg. We got a leg up, just might be a two-legged correction, then a push up. Okay, so we know that's worked. Leg, leg. Okay, so that has triggered. I just generally don't take that first one. I wait for the higher low if we get it. Because sometimes it will trigger. I mean, last time, the one down here, 2 legs, nice one. That pushed up nice and strong, but you can see it had like a double bottom. I tend to stay out the first one, but I do monitor them. It's definitely a visual. Oh, technically, it's a first entry. It's just that's the fairly. It's technically it's a fairly, but it's visually 1 leg and 2 legs. That's why I don't take that first one. And it's always good to assume that that's an overshoot. It may not be, but in all fairness, if you bring that down to here and bring that down to there, which fits, that fits nice, it's fair to say that's an overshoot. So it, you know, you expect it to come down, but yeah, it's possible that may turn into like a 2-tiered channel, because funnily enough, it actually fits, doesn't it? Fits lovely in that one too. We had a big strong down this tier, big strong up. So we'll just keep an eye on that, but I think it's likely. So what I'm going to do is just fill that line down to there and then get rid of this just to see if it does react again off that line. Because if it does react, that would make sense. So we've got a channel down there, we've got a break. I would probably expect the new low there. But it is still feasible, a couple of legs and a push up. Oh, spiking around. Mm. See, I'm a bit unsure as to know what's going on here. It's a bit all over the place. Okay, that's cleared things up a bit. Let me just get rid of this. Mm. So perhaps that's a leg up, 2 legs of correction, and now a push up. A higher low would have been nice here, but wasn't one. Gotta be careful here because we've had this leg down and we've had 2 attempts to go higher, so it could fail and come dropping down. This could be a kind of a penguin guy, big leg down, 2 attempts to go higher, and a drop. Okay, let's get that out of the way. So let's remove that now. Yeah, I think you're right, matey. So that would take us to here. So if we can get a couple of legs down and maybe a higher low, it might be an option. Let's see, we know there's some congestion there and there, which is, I'm guessing it may make it break or come down, but you can see we're getting a few bars side by side, which is okay. Just quick overall look. Okay, so depends how you draw this. I think, in all fairness, you've got to maybe call this the bottom of the range. Yeah, it's going to get up here without giving us an option, isn't it, typically? So that was what I was looking at. There was 2 legs of correction, which was right, but that bottom leg was slightly bigger, and then we had this. But you just got to be careful there, because there may have been an overshoot depending on how you looked at that. But yeah, there's just no entry there. I mean, after this, there's a little channel there, I suppose you could say. Sometimes I've seen these, you get a break, you go along and you get trapped, and it's just pushed up quite strongly. And what's it gone up there? 5, 10, 15, 20 points. Straight up. So market's sort of definitely moving. ATR's grown a little bit. So that makes your average risk around about 3.25 points, including a tick above and tick below. Yeah, I read a bit of that, mate. You said about that uptrend. Yeah, it's not that clear, is it? Really, in all fairness, because we had a nice small one, then there was a bit of an overshoot. But sometimes an overshoot can send off in the other direction. Now it did, but just for a couple of legs, so I don't quite know that. So it'd be nice to get another leg, because we quite likely had a break there. Whether it is a break or not, in fact, probably may even say it isn't. It's hard to say, because I've gone off this bottom and we're touching here, we're touching there, so you may not even call that a break. A little bit of sideways, we get that all the time in a channel. So I'd say, give us a leg and a leg. That would be lovely. Further down, come on. I mean, the fact that we're pushing up is telling me we're going to make another leg. Now, we are short of it by maybe 1.5 points. I'm not mega too worried about that. It does look like we may be getting a textbook second entry long. I have to keep an eye on this leg. Legs, 2 perfect legs down after that. I'm happy that fits in there. I have to see how this looks. I prefer a tiny bit more, just down to here and then a push up. So I'm going to get an order ready just in case.
Order submitted.
It's got to come down to at least level here, otherwise I'm not interested. Couple more ticks. Couple more would be nice. I don't even mind that bar finishing there and another one. In fact, I prefer that. I'd say it's going to go up. Unfortunately, there's just no setup for us. We've had a double bottom there. I thought we were going to get a really nice setup there. We seem to have two lovely legs back. But I don't think we're going to get
Order
a setup,
cancelled.
Unfortunately. The 2,000 tick charts look even more confusing than... Sorry, the 1,000 tick charts look even more confusing. Okay, so far so good. You went above there, did you? Yeah. I mean, it's clearly two legs, isn't it? It's a double bottom. It's obviously risky, but it depends. Some people don't mind losing more trades, and overall, average wins. You know, it's all right to do that. I think it depends on your strategy. I mean, something like that after that, you think it would probably work 70% of the time, maybe more. So maybe that's enough. A strong push up there. Okay, it's a shame really, because that setup would have been beautiful. If that had come down there and it would have sat there, man, I'd have jumped all over that one. But it clearly worked. Unfortunately, we got a doji there. So although we had two legs, it's just, you know, if I took that trade and it triggered it and stopped me out, and I posted that later and said, why did that work? Straight away, people would say, well, look at the Sigma bar. So it's just one of those things. Yeah. Your bars, well, that's the thing as well. Sometimes your bars do set up better. If that had been a couple of ticks in that direction, it would have been not so bad. So it's just one of those things. Sometimes it works for you, sometimes it doesn't. So that's clearly played out. So maybe, depending on what happens here, so we've got a leg and a leg. I mean, it's a shame really that there isn't something a little bit better, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. My bar finished 3 ticks in the green. That's what I mean. It's very easy, and that often happens. But in all fairness, it's a perfect second entry. That's exactly how you want it. Leg, break, leg. And the double bottom. I was tempted when we had the double bottom, but you know, I've managed to slowly manipulate my brain to just take in what I believe to be a good setup, and it wasn't moving quick. It's not like I didn't have time to think. I had plenty of time to think, and that for me added risk. And for me at the moment, I'm in quite a good area at the moment where I just wait for genuine setups. And okay, I took something a little bit on the 1,000 tick, but it was a second entry long, but the context wasn't right. It was moving quick, so but I had plenty of time to think there, and if it would have triggered and come down and stopped me out, then my answer would have been that bar. But you know, on someone else's charts, a tick or two higher, it can look completely different. I mean, it's not a massive bar, see a couple of ticks, and you know, you're not far from the top. I wish you had my bar. I don't blame you. Yeah. I know that happens. I know sometimes I've took bars and I've posted it later and I've looked at someone else's chart and they've had a completely different. I'll tell you what I do notice a lot lately. Sometimes I'll have a big bearish bar like that, a bearish pin bar, and I'll see someone else in that same place with almost like a full red bar. Both showing you it's bearish, but I much prefer that because it tells me it's pushed up and then sellers have sold. That one tells me there's been no buyers, sellers have just sold. So that's a stronger a marker of a bearish bar than me, but I quite often see me have that and someone else have that, or vice versa. So I know it does differ, but if that would have been bullish, I'd have jumped on that. I mean, yeah, I mean, as far as a second entry, as far as the setup's perfect. Just the final bar, you know, sealed the deal for me, unfortunately, but that's the way it is. Yours has 3 ticks up too. Yeah. To be fair, mate, I have reloaded it. I reloaded this and I reloaded the 1,000 tick earlier. I made sure I did. See if it does make any difference. My bar looked like that. I just reloaded it. Now it's bullish. Let's have a look. Oh, shitting balls. Look at that. Oh, look at that. Perfect. See, I do ask myself the question, how often do you reload? That's the thing. How often do you reload it? I reloaded it earlier. Don't you laugh at me. That's a bloody shame, that is. That's a crying shame. Not only that, whether you call that first touch, second touch, third touch, yeah, it's a perfect second entry long there, no argument. That's a shame. I'd have come out at the top there. What would I have got? I don't know why I punished myself. Oh, look at that. I'd have taken 2 points out of that for sure, and you'd have clearly got it. Oh, what a bummer. Oh, well, it happens. But no, I made a point of doing it because I did it on the one above as well, just in case you have to do them separately. That's a shame. Oh, well. Yeah, well, mine was a crap bar in real time as well. Strange how that works, isn't it? We have the luxury of comparing to your chart. So, yeah, so you guys are one step ahead of me, really, aren't you? It's one of those things, isn't it? It's, you know, I've had good trades before and other people haven't, so it works both ways. It's one of those things. You may be getting another. Let me just have a look. The way I'm seeing this, it may be a bit of a spiking channel. Let's have a look. Let's put that there like that. In fact, let's go from that bar there. No, I'm not a fan of doing this sometimes. I more set this up to fit at the back. Maybe it's not a terrible way of doing it, but not a fan of that. Not a fan of that either. Let's leave it there for now until something better turns up. So we've still got quite a bit of distance to go up here. If we are, I mean, it's clearly ranging in a bit of a messy old fashion, isn't it? But we're getting some big swings, and we've bounced off here, sort of a couple. We bounced and then retested it and then pushed up. So there's no reason why. There's nothing that would stop us from. You missed it too, did you? Oh, bloody hell, it's frustrating, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, it's sort of a textbook second entry long, in all fairness. The only thing that would make that slightly better is if that EMA was hugging the bottom of it, but apart from that, you'd take that all every day of the week, wouldn't you? Okay, so interesting. So, in fact, I'm going to get rid of that for now. Just so we've had this with a break and a new high. Yeah, real shame there. I kick myself now. I don't mind leaving trades. I don't mind. I've got no problems with missing trades. You know, sometimes it happened. It'd be interesting to see though. How often would you reload your historic? Mind you, sometimes does it always go in your benefit? You'd think not, wouldn't you? You had a bad doji as well. Did the same route. Now your bar is. Yeah, strange that, isn't it? I wonder why. Perhaps we should get into the habit of reloading it. But it's not often. It's not often that happens, is it? I don't think. Where someone gets a great bar, it does happen, but not as often as not as often as it used to. I don't think. So I'm not sure what's going on here. Maybe, in fact, if that comes any lower, then maybe we've got a bigger channel there. It's going to have to come a fair bit further first. Let's have a look. Actually, that can come a bit further down. It's a bit early at the moment, I think. In fact, that can go further. Okay, that's not terrible. I've lost the bottom there, though. Trouble is, if you bring that to there, that's an overshoot. So let's leave it for now. So leg and a leg with a break and a new high. It's come close to the official 9:30 open. It's quite a bit of a I was going to say erotic. It's not an erotic day, is it? What's the word I'm looking for? Erratic. Not erotic. Definitely not erotic. You reload, just kidding. It'd be interesting to know. It'd be nice to get a bit of, find out a little bit about that. Might be a topic for Hilo. It might be a subject for a conversation one day. How often people reload. In fact, I might drop something on one of the Facebook groups later for a chat over the weekend. How often do people do it? I reloaded mine just before I started trading, and then a few people said they took that higher low. Mine was a doji and a few others. So I might drop that as a conversation for maybe sometime over the weekend, just to see how often people do it and if they noticed any difference. But yeah, it's a real crying shame, that, isn't it? Can't argue with that. That's one tick off its high. That's probably as close to near perfect as it gets, really. The only thing I would say, one tick higher and that hugging the bottom. But no, there isn't a scenario where you wouldn't take that, really, apart from the doji. Got to be careful here, because if this is a two-tier channel, it could trigger you and have a leg and a leg off. That's happened to me a few times in the past. I tend to avoid them now. So we could have a leg and then a leg and come back to here. So it could trigger that and come down. So that might be a trap there. It's a bit dodgy looking anyway, in all fairness. It's bouncing off of VWAP, is it? I haven't got my Watson up at the moment. I usually have a book map up, but as I've started to use this 1,000 tick chart, I've got no space for it. I could move things around, but it's just, things are a bit tight. So generally it would bounce off VWAP, would it? Or would it try and push through it? How does it work? Okay, just excuse me for 1 second. So what are we doing here? Is that a high or low? Still too risky in my opinion. Let's get rid of this because it's just okay. I'm not sure whether that is valid. So what I'm going to do is remove it and just put that there just to see, just out of pure curiosity where it comes. But yeah, it's pretty messy stuff at the moment. It's not very clear at all. Let's put these legs back because I think these legs are coming into play. Let's put that there. It'd be nice to get this down to here somewhere, just to confirm that there is a bigger channel. It's plausible, isn't it? We go up, we come back, we go up, we come back, we go up. VWAP is like the EMA. Okay, so it acts like a magnet, doesn't it? So it can. I'm assuming if it's coming up to it and it's bullish enough, it'll push through it, won't it? Okay. I know what it is, but it's not something I tend to follow. But I know times I've added on, I've had Bookmap. I can see it's just a purple line, isn't it? Is it volume weighted price? Volume weighted average price, something like that. So yeah, I suppose yeah, it would make sense. It's like the EMA. Okay, leg. In fact, that's a little bit higher than it needs to be. So, okay, we've actually bounced right off that midline. But it is a little bit. You just got to be a bit careful around here because it is. In fact, I think it's fair to say there is a possibility we could be doing that. I would like to see it come back to here. If it comes back to here and pushes up, then that would get me more thinking about that a larger channel. VWAP is around 43.94 at the moment. 94? Yeah. So, okay, so it's around about here then, yeah. We're on it basically, aren't we? All bar a tick. There we go. Okay, so we pushed up. Maybe we're bouncing. So, try to go, we are making lower lows at the moment, but. So we push through it at the moment then. So it's around about here then, isn't it? Okay, so I'm just going to remove that. I know it's about a tick below that line, isn't it? Ticking a bit. It's just confusing the picture. You're a bear right now, are you? Well, funnily enough, it does look like it's doing this, doesn't it? I've put that there just to see what happens when we get to here, to see if it starts to hold price, and if it starts to move price, then I might think in maybe going long, but at the moment I'm a little bit neutral. But it's clearly bouncing off that midline. I've got that. It depends how you have it, but I've got that basically. There's a few touches there, and there's a couple of touches there, I think. Maybe there. But we've come down. It's starting to go more sideways now, and I'm thinking that it may go sideways until it starts to contact that. So we've got that, like that sort of bit of a crossroads there. Once it starts to come into contact with that, if then it starts to work up there, then I'll draw that bigger channel, and we'll have had, and we touch. I mean, it works really nice there, doesn't it? So that it would certainly make sense from here. So if we came back to here, or came over to here, which I think is plausible, the way it's moving sideways, and then I would say, yeah, maybe a bigger channel. But yeah, it's a funny old day today, isn't it? We're getting plenty of movement, but it's erratic. It's a big spike up, big spike down, and then up, and you know, it's a bit all over the place, isn't it? It's like I don't know, it's like a 2-year-old's picture of a bonfire or something, isn't it? It's a bit all over the place. Okay, so let's see what's going on now. There's a lower high there, possible second entry long. Let's see if it holds price. It looks like it's okay. I can micro adjust that so it still sort of fits. Let's have a look. Let's see what happens. Been that way all summer. It seems like, right, yeah, it has been a bit tough. Did Ian Max say, or am I dreaming this? Did Ian Max say that a lot of institutional traders will be making their way back to work? Did I read that? Did I hear that on his video last night, or did I? Because I know sometimes his video goes on about 1 o'clock in the morning, midnight, maybe 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm usually in bed then, but if I wake up, I usually grab my phone and watch it quickly. So I can't remember whether he said it or not. Okay, that hasn't worked there. So, right, sorry about that. It's just my wife's just asked me to transfer some money, so... okay, sorry about that. Right, let's get rid of that there. So, maybe this is just a breakout. Who knows? Yeah, it's just a bit all over the bloody place at the moment, isn't it? After Labor Day weekend, things tend to pick up. I don't know if Max said it, though. I'll have another look. Sometimes I'm half asleep when I'm watching, so I don't always take in exactly what he's saying. I just generally get the general gist of the day. It's more if some of the trades I've taken that he's spotted, or, you know, channels that I've drawn, I just like to compare mine with his, and if there's anything I've missed or something like that, just fill in the blanks, really. Yeah, it's so hard to make decisions on where to go here, isn't it? Hit the top here, hit the top there, hit the top there, hit the bottom here. It's all over the bloody place, in all fairness. You're green. Good for you, mate. So I'm calling it a day. Excellent. Best way to finish on a green for sure. I'm okay at the moment. If I go on, what am I? Total of 45, about $90 down. It's neither in nor that, really. Just a silly, excited mistake initially. Unfortunately, the second trade I took rocketed up. Second entry short off the EMA. Yeah. I mean we've had sort of many opportunities to push up, haven't we? We haven't. Okay, so there's there's a start. So leg. Be nice to retest that bottom. In fact, let me just get a
Order submitted.
excuse me. Ooh, just not quite good enough, is it? That's a shame. I don't know what your bars look like. Do your bars look any better? Don't tell me you've got perfect bearish bars. It's just a bit too, yeah, okay.
Order cancelled.
Yeah, it's getting a bit unpredictable now, isn't it? Same bars. Yeah, I mean, look, pushing straight back in. So, I'm not a fan of that, really. It's a bit too... No, let's get rid of it. That's a shame, isn't it? Yeah, I'm not a fan of when it does this. It's unpredictable. I'm bloody pissed off about that. That's a shame. Oh well. Oh well. Very choppy today. Very choppy. Yeah, up, down. It's not very clear, is it? See, I've tried this and it's a bit... It's not brilliant, is it? I got no idea. I can't see any type of structure really. It's just up, down, up. It's just a bit all over the place. I don't think there's any type of channel that we can draw there really. I don't know. It's a bit touch. Just say that's a channel. Is this a break? Is this a higher low? It's just hard to say, isn't it? It's a bloody big bar though. Look at that ATR now rocking up, isn't it? 3. You're going to be risking over 3 3/4 points. Is this a channel? We went from here. We touched twice. It is a possibility there's a channel. Leg. Maybe we go for a higher low. I don't know. Let's see if there's a high low. Starting at this morning's low. There, you're on about, yeah. Yeah. I mean, we've touched it, you could say a couple of times there, and it kind of works. This might be a breaker, the way it's pushed up strong. And perhaps it is, perhaps this is a break of it. It's just not the clearest of channels, is it, really? With an undershoot or overshoot, yeah. Trouble is, if you bring it back there, it's touched twice. If you take it up from there, it's touched twice. So I see Mac doing that sometimes. You'll take it up to the far part. I don't know. Yeah, I'm trying to look much clearer on the 4K chart, does it? Okay. Yeah, the tops fit better anyway, that's for certain. So there's the 4K chart. Touch, touch. So if we go from here, we've touched. The trouble is, you're supposed to touch 3 times, aren't you? So we've touched once, twice. It's not really been confirmed, although it does look like. I mean, that looks kind of like a nice failure, doesn't it, to take that stop out? It's a little bit unclear, really, about. Yeah, it's a bit unclear, so you just got to be a bit careful. Yeah, see, that bullish bar does look like a higher low. We got a leg up. I don't know, it's just got 2 points in that fell. Second entry short, yeah. Yeah, about that one there, yeah. You could say then that's a higher low, couldn't you? Trouble is, I don't like the way we're making lower lows. It could trigger you and then come and stop you out. And in all fairness, it's a bit unpredictable, so I think it's a bit dangerous going long there. It might work. We could have a leg up, a pullback, higher low, and it has triggered, but I'm just not a fan of that, and the fact that we're making lower lows. Completely side with, yeah, you just... it might work, but I think it's risky. If it gets above here, you know, you've clearly made your point. You made your points, but you know, it is looking like a leg and a leg, but it is very choppy at the moment. And it's just, you know, when the market's like this, it's got a cruel way of just making your life miserable. It's certainly trying to go up anyway, but I'd say there's certainly going to be some longs in that trade. Maybe even here, so it could... it could push up or it could come down. Yeah, it may's a bit flat. It's definitely riskier, isn't it? Personally, I don't think it's worth it. And we are making lower lows. That low's lower than that. That one's lower, that one's lower, that one's lower. So who knows? If we can get above here, then we may get another leg. We may reach these tops. But yeah, absolutely. It's just too dangerous to trade. You know, we can all guess where we think it's going to go. If you think that trade's valid and we've had a break, chances are we're going to come up to break these highs. And I think if I was a betting man, I think it's more likely it's going to push up. But it may be, I don't know, maybe 60-40, 70-40, maybe a bit more, but you can't take it really. We want to go for the 95%. Excuse me, the 95% trades. A lot of cases it'll do this, trap loads of longs, and all of a sudden before it reaches here, it'll just drop. And sometimes when it does drop, it drops really quickly, and sometimes your 2-point stop can turn into a 3-point stop. So the sensible thing to do really when it's like this is just stay out of it. Okay, so it's broken above there. You would have made your 2 points, but it's just too risky and choppy and sideways. Now, if I'd have been on an evaluation, would I have taken that? Probably. But when you start to build some money up in a PA account, the last thing you want to do is do something stupid. So that's a possibility. Not at the moment. I'm not a fan. But so as that's broken above there, you might go, okay, we're above there now. Let's go long. And it triggers you, stops you out. That's what I mean. This market can be brutal sometimes. It really can. And if you don't know what you're doing, it can really make a mincemeat of you. But fortunately, you learn pretty quick to stay out of areas like that. Otherwise, you just get chopped up and lose your money. Yeah, if there's any less experienced traders or newbies when it starts doing this, well, any of this really, it's unpredictable. It's so hard to work out what's going on because it's up, it's down, it's up, it's down. Sometimes the market can be really predictable. Sometimes you can work out exactly where it's going and it'll go there 9 times out of 10. Then other days it's all over the place and you just can't work it out. I mean, look at that. Oh, that's all this stuff's choppy. Big push up, big drop down. It's moved a lot today up and down and it's been really messy. It's not that often you see a chart looking like that for a day. It really isn't. Some really strong pushes up and then drops. Yeah, it doesn't often look like that, a chart. I mean, if you look at yesterday, it was a lot it was a lot clearer, wasn't it? We were clearly coming down that daily with that clearly pushing up. Working down, but from here onwards sideways, but you know, bit of side was there, but a general push up there, and it's a lot clearer. But you look at this today, and look at that, it's all over the place, doesn't it? It doesn't know whether it's coming or going, and that just makes trading it way more dangerous. Let's get rid of these for now. But yeah, if there's any inexperienced traders here or newish guys, just whenever it does that, just stay out of it, because you're going to get, you know, if you've been trading these markets for 20 years and you know what you're doing, then that's fine. But you know, most of us are sat here saying stay out of this, it's choppy, it's unpredictable. So that's basically how it is. You just can't trade it. Stop that by 1 tick. Oh, that's heartbreaking. That's why I do a lot of times I'll give it an extra tick at certain scenarios, and sometimes it saves your bacon. You can't trade this. I'll tell you what I'll do just for fun. Let me see if I can find this, because if you look on Mac's website and click on videos and click oldest, let me see if I can find this video for you. This one here. I'm just going to drag this in and play.
This is Mac with PriceActionTradingSystem.com.
You should be able to hear that. I think. Can you hear that all right? Can you?
Trade here that I took this morning. I actually
Hold
didn't
on,
have the trade
okay,
triggered so
let me have a look.
quickly that I didn't have time to set up the
Is this the one?
recorder
Let
and
me
get my
just
order
flick through
to
it a
enter
minute.
right above that. Unfortunately, I didn't get the at this
Where he
EMA
moves
the
his stop. I don't think this is the one.
end of this trade. I've easily gotten another tick out of it.
No, this is
Move my
not the
stop
one.
to one tick below it. It just depends on how the pattern's looking. But here
Let
we
me
go.
try and find this one. It's quite weird, actually. Let me have a look. Aldous first. Okay. Click on Aldous. Have a look at some of these videos. They're quite good, actually. Where's the one he... that might be it.
Okay. Hello, this is Mac with PriceActionTradingSystem.com.
Is this the one?
And we're going to do a trade example. Okay, we're short right here. What we had a double top here. We actually had two legs back to the EMA and then a double top, and we went short here on a second entry short off this double top. Let's tighten our stop to one tick above the double top now. And what we're going to try to do
there is one where
is scalp out.
Have a look. But watch some of these. They're quite funny. Well, fun is the wrong word. How different he was compared to how he is now. That's probably a better idea. I think that might be it. Let's have a look.
Hi, this is Mac with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and this is our chart lesson for Thursday, November the 10th. And what I'm going to do today is show you a trade example. And I recorded this trade earlier. Contracts right here.
Okay, he puts a buy order in here. And
I want to show you how I manage a trade, trading more contracts. But the biggest thing I want to show you is I want to show you you don't have to make a lot of points to be profitable as a trader. You can make a lot of money trading, only being able to make a few points every day, a point or two every
can't do
day.
nothing at the moment. I think this is it.
You know, if you can make one two-legged move, didn't get taken out, I was willing to give it another tick or two. See all this support across here? I had this. What I want you to see is in this two legs, there were actually two legs in the way. But anyway, the trade trick, you're going to get a leg that matches this.
Have a look at some of his older videos,
probably going to get one.
But he moves his stop about 3 ticks. He takes a trade. He takes a trade. He drops in. It goes off without him. 2 points. It comes back and picks him up. Then comes down 2 ticks below his signal bar. Then pushes up. So he clearly moved it by about 3 ticks. So he used to use 2 or 3 ticks below the signal bar, not 1 tick. So have a look through some of those older ones. They're quite interesting to see the difference between now and then. Christ, that ATR's high. Yeah, too big. Really, that's a big risk, that is. You're talking nearly 4-point risks there. But yeah, if you're bored over the weekend, have a look. But go on to his YouTube channel and just click oldest videos and look at some. He posted a lot more videos back then. Sorry, of his trades rather than just sort of bar by bars. Yeah, this is just unpredictable, this. Yeah. So we've got a leg up. Possibly another leg, who knows. Depends whether you think that channel's valid. If it is, then we may get up and have a new high, but I just don't know at the moment. How long have we been trading for now? What time is it? Oh, 3 hours. Okay. Let's give it another 30 minutes or something, I think. My family are out at the moment anyway. So 2 trades today. One sort of silly, excited one, and a second much better one. And I'm sort of break even minus a couple of fees, but there was a little bit of slippage on that one there, so that's nothing really. It's neither in there. Sell the high, buy the low of this range, risk 1 point, go for 2 to 3. Take profit. Trouble is, I'm not sure whether it'll break out of it or yeah, I mean, you guys know me by now. I'm not a massive fan of picking tops and bottoms. I don't mind. I'm getting, more into the triple tests. I mean, as far as selling, that probably wouldn't have been a bad place to sell. Clearly came down, but I think if you buy in the body needs to be right down here. But I'm not a massive fan of these. There's about 6 or 7 points from top to bottom, so you've not got a huge. So taking 2 to 3 points is tough. Oh, 6 points. Okay, so say 6 points. See, just by the nature of having this sideways, there's probably a little bit of uncertainty, maybe a bit of confusion as to what's going up. We have had a push up and a bit of sideways at a slight angle. And you do see me mention these sometimes. Eventually we'll get a push out the top up here. You notice these are getting slightly, we mentioned this quite a bit, we get a push up sideways but at a slight angle, and eventually then we'll push out. Same sort of mirror image from the top. Let's get rid of that a minute. See if it works. Have a nice weekend. Great stream. Thank you, mate. You have a nice weekend too, buddy. I've got my sister coming up this weekend and her husband from they live down in Winchester. They're coming up for the weekend, so we've got a couple of bottles of single malt. We're having a nice big barbecue. And he's very keen on trading as well, so it's kind of nice to have someone else to talk to about it, because he's like me, just doesn't shut up about trading. So it's going to be quite a nice weekend. Okay, so we have popped up, but we seem to be retesting the top, but leg and a leg. I would expect to push up a bit higher and maybe break these highs. Unfortunately, there's no real. But leg sideways, up at an angle, and then another leg. I hope no one tried to sell the top to the range. There. Yeah. Well, if you did sell that, you'd have probably got your money out. But I see this a lot, and I mention it a lot. It's like a bull flag. We push up and we go sideways up at a slight angle, and then eventually push up. And it's usually when you get something nice, and that wasn't a bad looking signal bar, I think. And obviously from then on. But I watch these, and every time they happen, I talk about them. And at some point when my accounts hopefully are nice and comfortable, so I can relax a bit more and not take trades because I'm a bit nervous, maybe I'll start going for those. Maybe I'll start dropping down to one contract initially and going for them. But I mention this all the time. We have a leg up sideways at a slight angle, and then another leg up, an equal amount of leg up. So if you'd have taken that, even for a couple of points, it would have worked. Okay, so I don't know whether this is a channel or not. You might think it is. We touched here, touched here, a couple of times there, or you could say it was a bit of an overshoot and a couple of times here. It doesn't really matter now anyway, whichever way you look at it, but clearly had a break of it, if it is a channel, and I would expect to get up here. So whether we bounce here or not, or whether we push it up, I've got no idea. You have a wider uptrend from here or from here. Let's have a look. In fact, I'll tell you what, let's get rid of it. And we'll have a bit of a visual. Okay. Sometimes it's easier to go from there. Okay, so that's not going to work. Let's go from here to there. I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure about the way I had it, in all fairness. So, you could sort of say that, but then the top doesn't look right. Starting from 4382. 4382. Starting from here. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. Okay. So let's get rid of that. Yeah, that's okay. I think we've touched twice, so it's not been confirmed yet. But if it does come back, I'll leave it there for now because I don't think it's terrible. Push up. Usually we'll go from the top sort of corner here across to the bottom right hand corner where we take off again. But if we come back and touch here again, yeah, that's as good as, I think. To be honest with you, I wasn't even a massive fan of my own channel there. And sometimes if you're not a fan of the channels, you're best off get rid of them and just stick with the smaller stuff. Sometimes they're a bit safer, really. 50% retracement before continuation. From the okay, so you went there, did you? So I'll probably go down a bit, can't it? Yeah, okay, yeah, I get that. A couple legs up, 50% retracement. Yeah, more or less, wasn't it? And then push up. I don't use this a lot, but sometimes it can. I think it can give you an idea. We seem to have a couple of legs, maybe a couple of legs back. Not the neatest of legs, but maybe a couple of legs nonetheless. Maybe on a different time frame, it might not look too bad. Excuse me a second. Sorry about that. Daughter's just had an injection. She's all excited. Okay, so I'd like to come back here. So it is struggling a bit there, which I thought it may do, because you can clearly see there, and there. There's definitely a bit of support there, whether it's just there in general, but obviously it's very close to that, the official open, so it's as good as bouncing off that, but you can see it there, can't you? You can see it plain as support there, and we clearly got some resistance here, here, and here, and something of the same here. And I kind of don't mind that, because a lot of times then it'll come back and then maybe have a sort of a more of a run-up. That's if it does go, but it may just turn there, but it's just so messy, isn't it, really? It's such a messy day and hard to read. Fortunately, we don't often have days like this where we get these big pushes in different directions, and it's just random, isn't it, really? It doesn't seem like any sort of a pattern to that at all, really, does there? So let's have a look. Measured move based on first two legs up. Yeah, we had a measured move there, didn't we? So Okay. Setting and waiting time. Let's do, what time is it? Let's go till 6 o'clock UK time, another 30 minutes. I don't mind. I find it a lot easier to sit down there 3 hours, and I used to be physically knackered, but I'm all right with it now. I don't mind. Yeah, the 1,000-tick chart isn't lending me anything interesting. Okay, so clearly found some resistance there. So one would think we may now come back to the EMA, possibly over here. It's hard to say. It's not the most encouraging place to buy here, I don't think, although someone's buying it. Okay, how wrong was I? Let's put that there, see if that leads anywhere. Yeah, it's just a crazy play. Yeah, you wouldn't expect to buy there, but someone did. Mind you, having said that, on a bigger time frame, it could look quite different. People think, I suppose, sometimes you think every single person that trades the 2,000-tick chart. Obviously, it's not the case, is it? So, on another time frame, it may look completely different. I don't know. Let's just, for a bit of fun, flick over to the, where's the 10,000-tick chart? Oh, okay. Tick charts. Edit. Let's just flick to the 10,000, see if that leads us anywhere interesting. Okay, it's certainly got rid of a lot of the crap, but it's still a bit predictable. It does look like it's starting to daisy chain up. It's certainly a bit clearer, I suppose, isn't it? That looks a little bit better. Spike in a channel, push up, break new high. This may be a spike in channel. Yeah, see, actually, touch. That actually looks a lot better, in all fairness. The 10,000-tick chart. So maybe sometimes when the market is really predictable, we drop up maybe, like Brant said, maybe 4,000 or 5,000 or 3,000 or whatever. But it's still a bit choppy, but it's certainly a lot more clear, isn't it? Clearly ranging. So you would think if we can get above the open here, we'd stall a little bit here, but if we can get above here, then you would think maybe that's our next port of call. We'll see. But yeah, it certainly is a little bit clearer. So that's where I put that. Yeah, see. It didn't look terrible on the bottom, really, but that top's just a bit... I don't know. Not sure about that. Anyway, so regardless whether you had that initial channel, we had a break, we pushed up, made a new high, because I think initially we came from here to here, didn't we? And that kind of fitted. In fact, there's no reason why we couldn't put it back. That's initially where we had it. Is it about there? Which we had a break and then push up to a new high. So we were sort of looking around here, weren't we? Looking for something, and then obviously it went sideways. Yeah, I've got to say, it's been a lot harder to read today. As I say, sometimes it's really easy and very predictable. And then other days, it just, you feel like a pig on roller skates. It's completely just alien almost. It may be a 0 day for me. Well, what am I at? 40, 45, about $95 down. Total over the 4 accounts. That's neither in or there really. 1 in, 1 out. 0 just minus fees and with a tick of slippage. Which is unusual. I don't usually get any slippage. Sorry, Chris. I didn't notice your comment there. I think you're still here. Does Apex send a contracted deal automatically after? Yeah, I think when you sign up to Deal, I think sent. If I can't remember now, I did it about 7 or 8 months ago. I think it's all done for you. I think Deal. Yeah, still here. I think Deal. Because I can't remember. You get an. I think it's pretty much done for you. When you fill it in, you'll put Apex. I don't know whether they give you a number or something. You'll put it in and they contact and set it up with Apex. I'm pretty sure I did it in December, I think, so I can't fully remember, but I'm pretty sure it's all done for you. You just sign up. I can't remember, to be honest with you. But yeah, I think it's all sorted for you, bud. Sorry, mate, I didn't see your comment there. I was just, as we're going a bit sideways here, I was having a bit of a browse, but yeah, anytime, mate. It's just nice for you to get a payment, mate. It's great when you get a first payment. It's just so nice to finally get some money back for all the money you've been putting in. It is nice, yeah. It's a great feeling. I actually printed my certificate out. I've got it here in front of me. When did I get mine? Approved on January the 6th, 2023. Proudly presents $2,000. Yeah, it's kind of nice. And I think really, when you get another one and another one, I think you start to get more and more, and they start to get larger and larger. Every person I've talked to, they don't all of a sudden go from earning nothing to earning $20,000 a month. It's like 2 steps forward, 1 step back. You make a bit, then you make a mistake, and then you're angry and frustrated because you thought you got it, and then eventually when you recover from that, you make a bit more. Another two $200 trades, and I could technically withdraw $8,000 from my 4 accounts if I wanted to, and that would give me a total payment of $18,000 this year. But initially, you just want to get your money, and when I got mine, I couldn't give a shit that I was going to blow the account. I just wanted money. But after a couple of times, you realise maybe just take 1,000 out of each instead of 2. That way, I'll keep the account and build them. And my plan is, when I get to about $5,000, if I take 2,000 out, then I've still got 3,000. And then the plan is to try and make an average of $500 per week. Per account, and there's no reason why you shouldn't. All I need to do is get 5 points in a week, which is 2.5 trades. It's relatively easily doable. I mean, it's been a bit tough lately. That I've had days where it's been a bit tough, but I think, you know, I'm up about, what am I up? $400 for a week per account through, something like that. Terms on Bullnock are far worse. Are they really? Yeah, Bullnocks. Yeah, in all honesty, my honest opinion about Apex, they can't be beaten at the moment anyway. I kind of like the way they do business. You know, I've always been happy that, you know, I'm confident I'll get my money. And obviously they've paid some large payments, as we know. So yeah, I'm happy where I am. But yeah, I'm just taking the plan is to get to 5,000 per account and then take 2,000. So after that, I've still got 3,000 left. So you'd have to lose flipping 10, 12 trades in a row to lose that. And there's no reason why you should be doing anywhere near that. And the plan is whatever I can get on top of it. If I can get to 2,000, then I'll take 2,000 out. If I can only get to 1,000 or 1,500, I'll take that out. But plan is to get some regular payments and then obviously just slowly increase my accounts. 5 days without trading on Bullnocks and they keep all your money. Bloody hell, seriously. How the hell do they get customers? Bloody hell. Now, I don't think it matters with Apex. I know when I first started, I think with Earn to Trade or something, I can't remember. If you didn't trade for 10 days, you had to let them know or something. Because obviously people take holidays, don't they? But I've not heard anything about Apex. I've not heard any rules where Apex says you have to trade for so many days or you can't have a break because we all take holidays. I mean, you start earning some decent money, one of the first things you're going to do is take more holidays. So, not that I'm aware of with Apex. I'd have heard something by now, so that is a bit rotten about that. Bullnocks. Yeah. My opinion, if anybody's on the fence about who to stick to Apex, there's not one rule at the moment that Apex have got that I really have a problem with. You know, some people mention about the trading drawdown. I don't see how it can affect you. Maybe if you're going for long swings, yeah, but I think most of us go for, you know, 0.5, 0.2 points, something like that. And we generally keep runners quite close. So it's only an issue really if you're letting the market go 10 or 15 points and coming back and only taking 3 for it, then it might become apparently a bit obvious. But apart from that. So, a little bit sideways here. I'd say similar sort of scenario with this, pushing up a little bit sideways, pushing up a little bit sideways. I think we're quite pushing towards the top. Price is still, sorry, the EMA is still holding prices currently. Let's get rid of that a minute. Someone else mentioned this channel earlier and I took it away, but now we're moving back. It might not be that bad. We've got a leg up, a couple of things, and then another leg up. Yeah, kind of like that. That's okay. See if we can start working up from here. Just got 3 pay accounts with Bullnocks and I'm not going to sign their contract. It's a shame. It's a shame, really, because I know you'll have had to work hard to get them. Yeah, it's a shame. Mate, just put it down to just a bit of experience, that's all. It happens. But take my word from it, Apex, there's no issues with Apex. There's no problems or no rules I really disagree with or that can cause you problems. I love the way that if for some strange, freakish reason you leave an order open, whereas a lot of other prop firms kill your accounts, they don't. They just shut them down. They shut them down a minute before the market closes for its sort of daily maintenance. So if you accidentally left, I don't know how you would, but someone's done it. So it just closes your accounts a minute before the market closes. Okay, let's see what's going on now. I've got a feeling we're going to have a dry day today, so to speak. Excuse me a second. Oh dear. You still trading the what? I've got it above my head, Budge. Yeah. Did I take? Yeah, I took 2 trades on it. The one I got a bit too excited and messed up, but the second one I took on it was a second entry long, higher low, nice trade, and it rocketed up 5, 10, 15, 23, 24 points. But it's not at the moment. It's not really giving me anything. That the trouble is, once you've had quite a long day on it, there's quite a lot of price action to sort of. But yeah, it's. I mean, it's definitely giving me more trades. That's for certain. And also, it's good if you want to trade it pre-market as well, because you know, if I sort of come to the market, say around about I don't know, say 11 o'clock UK time, all I've got is that little bit there. Whereas if I change to the 1,000 tick, it'll give me double that. If I change to the 500 tick, it'll give me 4 times that, and that is tradable. So there's no trade here, but if you look, if I drag, you can see that, yeah, push up. There's no trade there. But if I bring in the 1,000 tick chart and show that it's about 11 o'clock, 11 o'clock UK time. No, that wasn't it. That was the trade I took, by the way. That was high low, second entry long, and it rocketed up. That was the stupid one I took there, thinking break of this, but that one there, yeah. So new high there. If you recount that one, second entry long, high low, and that one pushed up. I didn't take that one, I missed it, but that was around about 12.40. But you know, it just gives you more detail and more scope to trade it when market's a bit quiet. So it's definitely got its uses, that's for certain. But I'd say it's probably 3 to 1. You get maybe 3 trades on it for every one on the 2,000 tick chart. Somewhere around there is a rough stab in the dark with Apex. They start as sim, but they still pay you. They absolutely do, yeah. After a while, they put you onto a live trading account. They do, yeah. I don't know what circumstances they go to a live account. I don't quite know, but okay. So touch looks okay. Like to see a higher low here. Still got to be a little bit careful because, as we know, it's a bit unpredictable today. The lower the time frame, the more slippage you get. Okay, that would make sense because I got a bit of only a tick of slippage on one of the accounts. Excuse me. Did I take that on there or here? Yeah, I took that one on the 1,000 tick. Yeah, that would make sense. But it was just on one account, so what did I take? I've not noticed a massive difference apart from today, but yeah, I mean, I don't mind, the odd tick if it gives you 3 times, 3 to 1, trades compared to the 2000 tick chart. But, there is a possible. Oh, interesting. That's going to drop below here, that bar is. Below that one. Maybe that one. The reason I say that is because you've got a higher low on the 2000 tick, on the 1000 tick chart, which is triggered, and it looks like it's coming down. It might hold, but trouble is, if I drag the 2000 tick chart at the moment, that's what I'm looking at. That's the bar I was looking at there. We sort of had a couple of legs down, push up, but it triggered and came back strongly, so I'm a bit on the fence as to know what's going on at the moment. Not that you would have gone long on any of those, really. There's nothing that would interest me. So just another day at the office, getting pissed around and with a choppy price action. So leg. I don't know what's going on here. I'm not a fan of that channel, although touch. It's just the back end is just quite a bit different, so I'm not a massive fan. It is a leg and a leg. But I don't know. It's just, it's hard to know whether we're going up or down, in all honesty. So I'm not convinced that's a nice looking channel. So I mean, it's just as feasible. We could be working down. Might be a leg and a leg, but I don't know. Tough day today, but Friday can sometimes be like that. Okay, so that's a good sign. So we got a leg down and a leg down with a possible break. I'm suddenly not feeling very bullish. Yeah. Yeah, this is just flipping hard going, isn't it? This is. Okay, I'm going to knock it on the head, folks. It's been a pretty even day today. I'm down about $90 totally over the accounts. I took one trade, lost it, took another one, basically broke even, but 2 lots of $8 fees, or just under $8, and a tick of slippage as well there, but it's a total of about $95, so it's neither in nor there really. So pretty much tough day today. Price action sucks really. It's all over the bloody place. Yeah, someone else, you just said exactly the same thing as me. It does, doesn't it? There's no better word for it really. I just can't see. It's just, I don't know, I can't see where anything just fits. I don't know, it's possible, but it's not very. It's just crap in all honesty. Anytime, Chris. You have a good weekend too. So there you go, folks. Another week done. What am I up for the week? What was I last week? I'm up about. What was I last week? So I said I was trading short. So I'm up around about $400 per account. A little bit more on one because I took a trade on one, so I'm up about 620 on one, 720, 820, 920, 1020, 12, 20. I'm up about $1,600 total for the week on all my accounts, which is not too bad because the week before I think I was at break even. So it's definitely been a better week. I'm 2 trades away from hitting 2,000. Well, I'm 1 trade away from hitting 2,600 on the one account and 2 trades away from hitting 2,600 on the remaining 3. I've got another evaluation which is passed, which goes live, I think, on Tuesday or Wednesday. So they're building up nice, and I've got up until the 20th of the next month to hit those targets. As I say, I'm only 1 to 2 trades away, so plenty of time. So whether I take one on the 5th of next month, or whether I wait till between the 15th and the 20th, that might be a better option. It might just give me a little bit more of a cushion, so I'll play it by ear anyway. That's it, I think. There's no point in doing anything more because I don't really want to get long here because it's just a bit unpredictable. So that's it for today. Better week than last week, with the exception of a naff Friday. A lot of chop. But there you go. Sometimes we get days like that. So have a great weekend, everyone. Stay safe. I appreciate all your comments. And I will be back same time on Monday and we will do it all again. So take it easy and we'll talk again on Monday. Bye for now.